Here's where you get to use some creative license. Try to imagine the best possible handle or grip that you can put on this blade that will go with the lines of the blade and will match the sheath. Now, to me, I think you can never go wrong with antler for a primitive knife, but it doesn't have to be antler. Like this one, I used bone, and there's the other end of the bone right there. Or you can use wood, or you can use a combination of both. Now this one, you see I have a big piece of wood epoxied on the end of this antler. So after I get done with this, I'm going to grind this down and make a butt cap that's going to match the color of the sheath, and it's going to make it look really nice. There's another knife I'm making with this one's brown obsidian. You just want to make sure that you don't use something that's too small. Even as small as this antler is, when you put it against the blade, it looks pretty good. But I think I like that one better. On this knife, I decided I'd go with antler. Now the first thing I would do is I'd have to grind all this off, grind it down even with the main shaft of the antler, around the tip, and then decide which way the antler was going to sit with the blade on it. And then I would have to arch it this way, drill a hole where the blade was going to sit. Now if the antler was going to sit this way, then I'd drill a hole through the top all the way through the antler, and then take a hacksaw and cut 2 grooves from the end down to the hole to mount the blade. And this is the way it's going to look when it's done. Okay, you see the antler's going to sit like this. So I'll drill the hole through the top right here with the drill bit, a big drill bit. Then I took a hacksaw, cut 2 notches down to the hole, and then rounded everything off so I can tie my sinew around there, and everything will look nice. Now, the reason I used this antler instead of this one is because when this would be in the sheath, the points would be sticking toward you. See, when that knife was in the sheath, the points would be sticking to you all the time. Whereas this one, when this is in the sheath, the points are away from you. So I chose this one. And now you can see that the blade does fit in there, and that's the way it's going to look when it gets done. Now the only thing is that this is a little bit bigger than the antler, so I need to go out there and make this a little smaller. Okay, you can see that I've whittled this down so that they're pretty much the same size. That's the way the finished knife is going to look. And now all I have to do is epoxy the blade into the handle. What I used was a 5-minute epoxy, so this wouldn't take all day. What I had to do was put the epoxy on the blade and in the notch. Insert the blade, line it up so that it was straight with the tine this way, and also in line with the tine, the curve of the tine going this way, because these antlers are usually curved, so you have to line the blade up so you can see how it's in line. And now what I want to do is wrap my sinew Now I do this the way Paleo Elio does on his videos. First thing I do is cut me off a piece, and I'll show you how to use that in a minute. Okay, now if I decide where I want to start my string. Now the epoxy didn't fill this gap up all the way, so I can use that. So what I want to do, put a little bit of super glue right inside that notch. And take another long piece of string and stick it down in there. That'll give me a good bond and it won't pull out. Okay. Now, what you want to do on this first wrap is you want to leave some of the antler exposed on the end right there. So you want to put some glue on that side, turn it over, put some glue on this side. Now put the glue on the inside of where the wrapping is going to be, so that you won't see it when it gets done. Okay. Then I'm going to start wrapping this thing up. Oh, okay. I had to grind back pretty long ways, so I want to use enough sinew to cover some of those grinding marks up. Okay, I'm not going to go a whole lot further, so I'll put my loop in here. Keep going on the string. Now, cut the end of it. Around a couple more times. Now pull the loop up, stick the tag in through the loop, and then pull the tag end back through, cinch up all my sinew, make sure it's tight. Pull that, make sure that's tight. Then cut the tag end. Now, you can either leave it this way. Okay, the glue's dry. Okay, the glue's okay, the glue's dry now, and I just wanted to show that finished product. With the way the belt is on this one and the angle, this would have to be worn on the left side, and that's what it looks like. Thanks, guys.